back on the record. This is the beginning of Disc 2, Volume 2 of the deposition of John Dickert. Today's date, July 30th, 2015, the time, 3:50 p.m.
Okay, so I've been given until 4:15 to complete the deposition. I think that's probably going to do it. So let's get it done. Did you talk to Tom Tussis about a man named Ahab Atut who was trying to open a BP gas station on Rapids Drive?
No.
Do you know that name?
No.
Did you ever, in your conversations with Mr. Tussis, refer to a Indian, strike that. In your conversations with Mr. Tussis, did you ever refer to anyone as being a towel head?
No.
Have you ever used that term?
Nope.
Are you aware that Mr. Tussis has testified under oath twice that you used that term with him in reference to someone who is trying to open a BP gas station in Rapids Drive?
If he testified to that, it's fine, but it's not true.
Okay, so far we have two people testifying under oath that you've used racially discriminatory terms, Ms. Sharp and Mr. Tussis, and you're saying both of them are lying.
Correct.
You've never used a racial discriminatory term.
Nope.
Not in your life.
Not that I remember.
Is it true that you accepted 3 personal loans during the course of your 2009 mayoral campaign?
I don't recall 3 personal loans.
Do you recall, I'm sorry?
I don't recall 3 personal loans.
Do you recall any personal loans during your 2009 mayoral campaign that you accepted? In other words, just so you understand what I'm referring to. I'll go backwards. Is it true that you accepted in 2009 during your mayoral campaign loans made out to John Dickert personally?
For what purpose?
I don't know. Did you accept during your mayoral campaign in 2009 loans personal to you, in other words, made out to John Dickert as opposed to John Dickert for mayor?
I may have.
Okay. Is it true that you accepted 2 personal loans during your mayoral campaign from your brother?
I don't recall receiving 2 personal loans from my brother. I may have received 1, but I'm recalling 2.
Okay. How many brothers do you have?
5.
Okay. Is it true that your brother, how many brothers do you have that live in California?
I have 1.
Okay. Is it true that your brother who lives in California gave you a $5,000 personal loan in 2009 during your mayoral campaign?
He may be giving me a loan. I don't remember when he gave it to me.
Did he give you a $5,000 personal loan?
He may have.
Is that a yes?
I don't recall how much or when he did it, but he may have, yeah.
You don't remember if your brother gave you a $5,000 loan?
Well, our family takes care of each other, and if somebody gives us a loan, we pay it back.
Okay, but you don't remember if he did?
He may have, yeah.
Did Boyd
You're asking me to remember specifically what happened in 2009.
I'm asking you to remember if your brother gave you a $5,000 loan.
Yeah, he may have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Boyd Frederick give you a $5,000 loan in 2009?
I think. I don't recall that, but he may have. I don't recall.
You don't remember if Boyd Frederick gave you a $5,000 loan in 2009?
She actually asked to answer. He just said he may have. He doesn't recall.
You don't remember? He testified that he did. Do you have any reason to disagree with him?
I don't recall it, but if he did, he might have, yeah.
Okay. Well, assuming that you got $5,000 loans from your brother and from Boyd Frederick in 2009, is it true that you accepted those loans personally and then took the same money and loaned it to your campaign?
That's a bad assumption to make. I don't recall that ever happening directly myself, but I don't know what they gave me the $5,000 loans for, I recall at that time, but.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, go ahead.
That's it.
Okay, is it possible that you took the $5,000 loaned to you by your brother and the $5,000 loaned to you by Boyd Frederick, and then turned around and wrote checks from John Dickert to your campaign?
I don't know that that ever happened or recall that happening.
That would be illegal, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Objection calls for legal conclusion.
I think I've shown you Exhibit 243. Yes? Okay, if you flip to the second page of Exhibit 243, please. Actually, do you know when you received the $5,000 loans from your brother and from Boyd Frederick?
No, I don't.
Would you have record of that?
I don't know if I would or not.
Do you know why you would have needed $10,000 in loans personally?
Well, I was working as a realtor, and not sure if my wife was working at the time or not. So if we did not have a closing check coming in, because real estate is usually done in big waves, if you don't have a closing check done in time, sometimes family members would help me out. But once you get paid in a closing, then you pay them back, or you are able to infuse money into the campaign.
Exhibit 243, second page, towards the bottom, references a loan made by you
Mm-hmm.
to your campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes,
In the amount of $4,000, true?
correct.
Do you remember making this loan?
No,
Any reason to believe that the record of you making the loan on Exhibit 243 is inaccurate?
no reason to believe that.
So according to records of your campaign, you loaned your campaign $4,000 on March 31st, 2009.
Correct.
Here's Exhibit 244.
I think you used it already.
You have it?
You used it already.
Oh, I did? I'm sorry. Could I have that back then? It probably has my notes on it. Thank you. It does. Okay, so you have Exhibit 244 in front of you, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Second page of that exhibit. Shows a loan made to yourself on April 22nd of 2009 in the amount of $1,000, correct?
Correct.
And you believe that's accurate?
I would assume so.
If you turn to the fourth page of the exhibit, Exhibit 244, there's another loan. You see that?
Yes.
And that's a loan from you to your campaign in the amount of $5,000.
Okay.
True?
That's what it says.
Okay. And you have no reason to dispute the accuracy of this, right?
I do not.
Okay. So, assuming that's all the loans that you made to your campaign during the spring of 2009, that totals $10,000, true?
Correct.
Which is the same amount of personal loans that you received from your brother and Boyd Frederick, true?
Objection. Assumes facts not in evidence.
True?
Correct.
Coincidence?
Did you look at any other personal loans that I received?
Did you receive any other personal loans?
I don't know. Or my checks from my real estate company?
Just saying.
So am I.
Is it a coincidence?
I don't know.
Objection to the form of the question. Argumentative.
Who is Laura Hermans, Hermanns?
She was one of our first interns here at the office.
Okay, so that would have been in what, 2009, 2010?
I don't remember when.
And do you still communicate with her?
Yes,
On what matters?
she's a friend. I supported her father's golf outing. He's passed. He was a pastor in town.
Does she remain a friend of yours?
Yes, she does.
Who is Beth Prammy?
My campaign manager in my second election.
Okay, so that would have been in 2011.
Correct.
Okay. And are you still in touch with Beth Prammy?
We haven't talked for some time.
Why is that?
Well, she got a new job, so I don't see her around too much. She's busy.
Have you read her deposition?
No.
Before I run out of time, I wanted to ask you about a particular exhibit. I believe it was your testimony during day one of your deposition that you did not attempt to exert any influence over liquor licensing matters. Is that true?
I don't know if that's the exact comment that I made.
Well, let me ask you differently. Did you attempt to exert influence over liquor licensing matters?
I don't have that authority.
Okay, so the answer is you never did?
I talk to people about liquor licenses.
Did you attempt to exert influence, though?
I talk to people about liquor licenses. I don't have unilateral authority over them.
Okay, did you ever tell anyone to, for example, make sure that someone doesn't get a liquor license?
I don't have that authority.
Did you ever tell anyone that?
It doesn't matter. I don't have the authority.
I get that, but did you ever tell anyone to make sure that someone doesn't get a liquor license?
I don't know that I ever would because I don't have that authority.
Okay, did you ever tell anyone to make sure that someone's liquor license is revoked?
I don't know.
You might have.
I don't know. I don't have the authority, again.
Okay, showing you what I marked as Deposition Exhibit 1576. Let me know when you've had an occasion to read it. That's Tassos. I kept him in the car. Have you read it, sir?
I'm just about done. Okay.
Okay. So this is an email thread concerning the R&B Latin Club.
Correct.
All right. And you recall Ms. Torres and Mr. Bueno applying
Correct.
for license at the R&B Latin Club?
A conditional use permit.
Okay. First of all, how'd you even get this email? Because I see that there's an email between Matthew Sadowski to Justin Kopnick, CCing Alderman Kaplan. You're not on it, but then you respond or forward it to Tom Friedel over the top. So how'd you get the email?
Because I received a phone call on the Saturday. They had been in, I believe, on Wednesday for the conditional use permit. We had told them that the conditional use permit does not allow them to open the bar. They have to go through the licensing procedure as well, and the conditional use permit must be followed up by a inspection. They opened the bar on Saturday. Mr. Kaplan got upset and contacted me, the sitting alderman. The police went over there to talk to them, and they lied to the police officer. They told him that we were approved and that we had given them approval to do it. So,
I want to be respectful of your testimony, but my only question was, how'd you receive the email?
I don't recall.
Oh.
I'm trying to explain to you what happened because you asked the question.
All I asked was how you received the email, and I wouldn't cut you off, but I'm on a time restriction.
Well, they had lied to our police officers.
Sir,
Therefore,
do you,
Just answer his questions.
All right.
You just want to know how you got the email.
I don't know, it was likely that Alderman Kaplan and/or the officer had made me aware of what was going on.
okay. In any event, you forwarded this thread to Tom Friedel, right?
Correct.
City administrator? Yes?
Correct.
And you said, quote, I want to make sure this application is denied,
The conditional use.
right?
Correct.
Okay. In other words, you did not want them to open up.
No, I wanted to make sure that the conditional use was denied because they lied to a police officer.
So what happens if the conditional use is denied? They're not allowed to open up, right?
No, they then have to come back to the planning commission and explain their actions.
And what was your expectation in terms of what Mr. Friedel would do once you gave him this order?
I wanted to make sure that he understood that we were going to start dealing with the fact that this group had illegally opened up, abused the rights of my staff down in the development department, and lied to a police officer. So we were asking for them to deny it so we could bring it back and talk to them, because if they had started with the conditional use by lying and inappropriately opening their establishment, then we need to talk to them to make sure that they're following all the rules and regulations, specifically regarding inspections.
You were asking for the Public Safety and Licensing Committee to deny it?
No.
For who to
Conditional
deny?
use permit for the planning commission, which I am chair of.
Ah, okay. So you were chair of the Planning Commission?
Correct.
Is Mr. Friedel on the Planning Commission?
No,
And they have authority over the conditional use permit?
correct.
Okay. Was a conditional use permit denied per your instruction?
I don't believe it was. I think they came in and worked with Matt to make sure that they were going to follow all the procedures, and we reminded them that it was inappropriate to lie to a police officer. I believe we allowed them to continue operating.
Let's show you Exhibit 1577. I'm just going to ask you about the first email at the top. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were ready. And incidentally, the only reason that you allowed the R&B Latin Club to open with the conditional use permit was when they withdrew their recall campaign against Alderman Kaplan, Joe?
Objection
Absolutely
mis-
not.
Hold on. Objection misstates facts and record.
Oh, you guys.
Recall was denied. Improper.
So the first email is between Mary.
Stretch.
Excuse me.
Continue.
The first email is between Mary Jerger and Zach Williams,
It
dated
is.
March 12, 2009. Yes?
It is.
Saying John's brother gave him a check for $3,000. Is that in reference to you?
I don't know.
You would assume so?
I would guess.
All right. And Mary asked Zach, because John's brother, your brother, presumably all of his kids are minors, Mary asked Zach, how could we break it down to fall in the 803 maximum contribution guideline? You see that?
I do.
And that would be illegal to do so, wouldn't you agree?
I
Objection
Don't
to
know.
the extent it calls for legal conclusion.
You don't know if it would be illegal to break down a $3,000 check into other people so as to make sure that it falls within the 803 campaign contribution guideline limit?
Objection
I don't
calls
know.
for legal conclusion.
Were you ever made aware of the fact that
You can
your
let me
ca-
answer the question.
Go ahead.
I don't know because they didn't bring this to me, and I don't know what minors can give, and so I don't know what they do with it.
You don't know if minors could,
I have no idea what minors can give.
you think minors could donate to your campaign
I have no
lawfully?
idea.
I'm going to show you 1578, sir. I'm watching the clock, Michael. I'm going to ask you just about the top email. Let me know when you've read it. I don't need that many. I don't need that many. Have you read it?
Okay,
All right.
the top,
Yeah. So who is Meredith? Reference in the top email of Exhibit 1578.
I have no idea.
You don't know who the Meredith contribution is from?
No.
Would it be appropriate to break down a single contribution into 10 anonymous contributions?
I don't believe that's possible.
You don't believe it's appropriate?
I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the law is, so I'm not sure that you can do that or not.
And who's Pete, your brother?
I don't know.
Do you have a brother named Pete?
Yeah,
Okay. So did this $3,000 contribution from Pete, is that from your brother?
I don't know.
You weren't aware that your brother made a $3,000 contribution to your campaign?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I'm going to show you Exhibit 1579. It's an email exchange in which you're utilizing your Gmail account. True?
Yes,
Why would you be utilizing your Gmail account?
because I started a Gmail account.
Did you not have a johndickert.org account?
You mean the campaign account?
Yeah.
I believe we had a campaign account, johndickert.org. Yes.
So why was Beth Prammy corresponding to you via your Gmail account? Do you know?
Objection calls for speculation.
Do you know?
No, you can ask her.
Okay. Well, on March 8th, 2011, Beth Prammy wrote to you that Neubauer had maxed out, right?
Okay,
Is that true?
that's what she stated.
And she asked to give if she should give in Lisa/Catherine's name, right? Right?
Where are you seeing that?
March 8th, 2011.
Oh, okay.
Yes?
That's what she wrote the email.
And she tells you that Rudd, R-U-U-D, maxed out and asked you if she should put it in the spouse's name, right?
Correct?
She tells you that Burke over-contributed $250 and says they could put the overage plus $550 into Virginia's name, right?
That's what she stated.
And did you tell her that that was inappropriate?
I don't know that it is or not.
Because you don't know the campaign finance laws.
Depends on how they write out the check. I don't know.
You don't know whether that's lawful or not.
I don't.
You don't know whether it's lawful if someone over-contributed to your campaign by $250 to put it in someone else's name?
I don't know if they can do that or not, or if it needs to be sent back.
You think it's lawful if someone contributes money to you for your campaign to make the decision to put it in somebody else's name?
Objection assumes facts, not in evidence.
I don't know.
How
You'd have
is
to
that
ask Beth.
lawful? How could that be lawful?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Beth.
Well, you're getting information, okay, from Beth Prammy, who's in your campaign, telling you that she wants to shift money from one donation to another, right?
Objection. Misstates the record.
right?
And what's your question?
Also misstates her testimony.
What do you do about that? She's telling you that she wants to change contributions from one person to another. What do you do about that?
If she can do it legally, then she can do it legal. If she can't, she's got to send it back.
Well, did you tell her? Did you say make sure this is legal?
I don't know what I did after this email.
Well, no emails from you were produced. Did you search your Gmail accounts?
Well, I think you guys all searched my Gmail accounts.
Last exhibit. Oh, I don't need a sticker. This is Bach Exhibit 81.
For the record, it's after 4:15.
I'll let you ask about this, and then we got to break it off.
Got it.
Do you have a copy?
I thought I did.
Right here.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. You've seen these emails, right?
I just read it.
You read the whole thing?
You talking about the first part?
I mean, the whole exhibit.
Well, I'm running out a little bit of a deadline. I'm going to ask a question.
Have you seen these emails? I asked the question.
I believe I have seen this, at least a portion of this email before.
Okay. Let's go to the first email in the thread, second page, July 14th. You see what I'm referring to? Yes?
Yes.
Mary Jerga writes to Beth, quote, I have a moral problem signing my name on this report knowing it's incorrect, end quote. True?
You ask him if
That's what it
is said
says?
is true?
No, is that what it says?
That's what she wrote on the email.
And you received copy of this email?
I'm CC'd, yeah.
Okay, and so you knew that there was incorrect information being submitted,
Objection assumes facts, not evidence.
right?
No, there was a problem between Beth and Mary getting this report cleaned up and making sure it was all accurate. So they had a bit of a squabble about it.
As you could see, Mary responds or writes to Beth, copying you on July 14th, quote, the bottom line number is not accurate, end quote. Do you see it? What I'm referring to?
Okay.
Same day, Beth writes back to Mary, copying you. If you flip to the first page, saying, quote, well, it wasn't accurate according to your accounting last time either, but you had no problem signing it last time, nor did you do any work to try and figure out what the problem was, end quote, right? That's what it says.
That's what it says.
Copying you,
Mm-hmm.
yes?
Yes.
So you're aware that there's at least inaccurate information that's submitted in your reports.
It needs to be cleaned up.
Well, what about the inaccurate information and accounting that was submitted the last time?
Well, obviously I wasn't aware of it.
Did you do anything once you became aware of this in July of 2011?
We ended up changing treasurers.
Okay, well, did you do anything to fix the illegal campaign contributions that your campaign accepted?
I informed Beth after seeing and hearing from them on this conversation that they needed to make sure that they were cleaned up.
Belated
you
objection misstates the record.
Did you make sure that they were in fact cleaned up?
That's what I told them to do.
Which illegal campaign contributions did you receive?
I didn't receive any.
Go to the first line of the top of...
We're now my second time for my meeting.
Go to the
I'm now,
first,
late for.
go to the first line on the top of
I think we're
Exhibit
done.
81.
Rob. We told you 4:15, and
Come
now
on.
you're just pushing us, so.
I
It's
have
past the
literally a
time
few
that we're allowed.
questions.
That's
Yeah,
what you
know
said
That's
5 minutes
the
ago.
last time. This is getting ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous,
Yes,
sir.
it is.
No, it's actually not.
We're done.
Mayor Dickert, first line on Exhibit 81, and under your system, we accepted several illegal campaign contributions. That's what it says, right? You walking out? Don't turn the camera
No,
on.
the deposition's over.
You walking out?
The deposition's over, Brian. Enough with the theatrics.
We accepted several illegal contributions. What'd you do about it?
I did not. I
The
told my staff to
deposition's
make sure
over.
they're cleaned up.
What'd you do about it?
Deposition's over. We agreed 4:15.
I need those.
Yes, leave those here, please.
Have a nice dinner, Mayor Dickert.
Brian, don't talk about flying anymore, okay?
Off the record.
Nice to see you. Take care.
Off the record, this will conclude Disc 2, the time 4:20 PM.